Episode 20, baby! Let's go! How's everyone doing at the time of this upload? It's Saturday. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. Wherever you're watching this, I hope that you're well and you're wonderful. Oh man, it's cold. It's cold again, randomly. I say randomly because I feel like, wasn't it like last week it was like 50? Yeah, it was warmer. It was a lot warmer than it is now because the temperature has definitely dropped. What else has been going on? I'm trying to think of what I did this week. Did I already mention that I downloaded a bunch of new Skyrim mods? I got a couple new perk mods and stuff. It's actually made the game very dynamic and really fun, and I've really enjoyed it. What else? I haven't watched SmackDown yet, as is tradition, so I normally just watch that after I do this. I don't know, because it's like, I don't know, I just want to I would rather do this before I do that. It just feels like, I don't know, I just have this out of the way. I don't have to think about that while I'm watching it, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't know why I shift that in my list of priorities, but that's just how I do it. Is there anything else other than, oh my God, I don't want to drop the phone. Okay. Hello. All right. So, yeah, that's it. Okay. So I may, wow, I may or may not have had just a few puffs on a marijuana cigarette. That's all I'm going to say. All right. And it's no big deal. And we're just going to move on. So if I just, sort of start talking about anything that doesn't make any sense, okay, then just go along with it. All right. It's okay. So we're just going to move on because I'm trying to think of anything else that I did. First of all, during the week, that's really instead of just me being instead of me just being oh, it was cold outside. So, is it weird that I wear my slippers without socks? Should I wear now hold on, now, please, calm down, calm yourselves. If I wear socks with the slippers, my feet are going to get sweaty. And I don't want my socks to get sweaty, and then I'm going to have to keep changing my socks out. I'm going to have to put a bunch of socks in the hamper, and I don't want to do that. So it's I would rather just walk around with my feet neatly and nicely insulated and tucked, right? But still open and having enough ventilation to where they don't get that sweaty, because they don't get that sweaty. But if I have socks on, you see, the socks encase the foot, right? And if I'm moving around, or if I'm just even if I'm sitting still and I'm retaining heat, because the heat comes out of the foot and the hand and the top of the head. So if you're covering up one of the parts, right, then it's over. So I like the free foot in the slipper idea. That's the team that I'm on. But is that nasty? Is that nasty, man? I don't want to do it if it's nasty. I don't think it's nasty though. I'm not running around with the gout. You know what I'm saying? I don't got athlete's foot. I wash myself. You know what I mean? I clip I clip the talons. I maintain. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just want to clarify. What the hell was I talking about? Wasn't I talking about is there anything else that I was I don't want to say anything mundane, even though I just went on that wild tangent for literally nothing. Okay. What else did I really do that was crazy daisy? Nothing crazy, just groceries, Just got some peanut butter. Got peanut butter. I like peanut butter. Peanut butter's great. I toast the bread and then put it in the microwave to melt the cheese. I want the cheese to be melty, but like I don't want to get the pan and like all types of fixings involved, and I just want to melt the cheese, and I've already toasted the bread, and it actually toasts really nice. So like, I don't know, I think it tastes pretty good. I don't think it's bad. I don't just have like toasted bread with cheese. I'm just saying like, that's the method that I use for when I make my sandwiches, is I toast the bread. What am I talking? I toast the bread, and then I'm like, all right, well, the cheese, I got good cheese. I got Sargento cheese. So I melt the cheese. It melts really nicely. Doesn't it to under a minute, good to go. Not trying to get it all, not trying to get it burnt. Not trying to get it all over the plate. None of that nonsense. Not even trying to deal with that. Not just trying to get a nice like melt, ooze, if you will, but not too much where it's just like it's a whole conundrum. So that's what I do, and then I cut it in half because it's like it's gonna be a bit of a mess. It's gonna be a bit of a situation, which it is, but like delicious. I love it. Bit of ham, bit of Sargento pepper jack cheese, some sauce, right? Just fantastic. I'm scared to tell you what type of sauce it is because I don't want to be judged. So I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to be attacked. And I'm a very fragile individual, and I don't want that type of heat on me right now. So I'm just going to stay over here in my secret island that you'll never be able to find me in. So you'll just have to deal with that. Is there anything else that I can just absolutely ramble on about for literally years? Other than that, no, that's it, really. I sleep on I sleep terribly sometimes. Sometimes, man, I need a body pillow. That's what I need. I'm a stomach / side sleeper, and sometimes I use my regular pillow, which is not a body pillow, as a pillow, which is not a body pillow, as a body pillow. Messes my back up, messes my top frame, my torso, my top area up, and it's not good. But it's not like like a week. It doesn't go on for like it doesn't go on for like forever. It's just sometimes I wake up and it hurts. Any medical listeners out there? Help me out. Anyway, man, I'm not funny, man. Like nothing. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to stop talking about that stuff. And we're just going to move on to wrestling. If I can. Oh, man. As I shift. Here we go. Are you ready for this? This is great. All right. TBS champion Julia Hart has not wrestled in over 1 month, but Fightful hasn't heard about what kind of injury she's dealing with. However, the site says there have been, quote, some creative ideas floated that needed to await her clearance. So she hasn't wrestled in quite some time. And, the air turned off, and now I realize how loud I'm being. Help. Okay, we're back. Hello. So she has not wrestled in a while. We're gonna look at. This is, and I don't want to do this during ringside, but I really need to do this more. We're gonna look up. What we're gonna do. We're gonna go on to Julia Hart cage match. Bob. We're going to get in there. She's a 6.32, says cage match. You heard it here live and in color from the Turnbuckle Podcast. You won't get this anywhere else. Let's see. Matches. Here we go. Now, her last match. Oh my God. My tablet. Is it charging? It is. Okay. AEW TBS title, House Rules, Julia Hart defeats Anna Jay, 10 minutes 16. It was in the Chartway Arena in Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia. Battle of the Belts. She beat Anna Jay. When was this? Battle of the Belts, where is it? Oh, man. Okay, so the dates are funky. It was the 13th of January. Yes, the 13th. The 13th of January. Yeah, so you guys have wrestled in actually quite some time now. I mean, okay, listen, I'm not a booker, right? And nor do I claim to be, right? But I feel like if she's the... Listen, if you can have someone literally just walk up to Orange Cassidy and be like, hey, I want to match with you, and Orange Cassidy's like, yeah, okay. I don't understand why you can't do that with Julia Hart. It just seems a bit weird that, like, you can't just have someone come up to her, literally anyone, and be like, oh, I am just in the most, like, not obviously, but in the most plain terms of, hey, I want to be the next TBS champion. So I'm going to beat you for that. And there's literally nothing you can do about that. And she's like, yeah, well, I don't know, something spooky. And then they go, whoa. And then they go, and she goes, yep. And then they have a really good match. I don't know. And you know what? I say that, but I don't even know if there was a story that led up to that. But at the same time, it is Battle of the Belts, and it's a show that isn't it like, it comes on like after... It comes on like after AEW or after... It comes on like after one of the shows or something. It's not really like a pay-per-view, you know? Like, it's... You don't have to pay to see it, do you? Oh my god. I have to look this up now. I'm so sorry. But you know what? I'm gonna look it up to fact-check myself. Hold on a second. I'm gonna fact-check myself. That's right. Battle. I don't even know, because I don't know Roman number. Battle of the Belts. I don't know Roman numbers. Battle of the Belts. 9? Is it 9? Oh, God. 9 results. Let's see. Yeah, look. To retain the AEW in the opening bout, Restart to Bill defeated Les Tex Gods. Is that the one where he jumped off the thing? Was that it? He, like, jumped off and he missed? Or, like, do you remember? I think that's when it happened. Okay. So I didn't see that, but we are still okay. We're still recording. All right, just making sure. So I didn't see the Anna Jay thing. The Julia Hart Anna Jay match. I'm gonna listen. I don't think it... Oh, you know what, though? In fairness, because did they have a story going into that? See, I don't even know how I would look it up, because then I would have to look up all the other AEWs. All right, you know what? I'm going to assume that there's a story going into it. Even so, the point I'm trying to make is that I don't see why you can't do that again. I don't see why that can't be a recurring thing. You know, you just have different women step up and be like, you know what? I want to be the next TBS champion. And Julia Hart, I don't care if you're spooky. I'm going to beat the heck out of you. And Julia Hart does something spooky, and maybe sometimes they're intimidated, and maybe sometimes they're not. And I don't know. I just... You know, putting her in matches is better than, like, not doing anything with her. Because at least, you know, you can say, whether you like Orange Cassidy or not, at least he's in matches, and, like, you know, the quote-unquote storylines are pretty much, you know, cut and dry in the sense of, hey, I want to face you in a match. And in fairness, it really doesn't need to be that complicated. If we're being honest here, it doesn't need to be so, like, intricate, like, oh, how does he feel about going into this match and all this sort. It literally can just be boiled down, because that's really what I liked about, like, the old, like, WWE, we're gonna say, like, mid-2000s, where it was like, oh, he comes in, well, no, you know what, it happens now, really, where it's like, you know, someone is, like, in, and then just follow me here, please. Someone's in, and then someone else comes in, and then they like mouth off to each other, and then that, you know, sprouts a match. Like, I like when that sort of stuff happens, and you could do that with Julia Hart, right? And like elevating her, you know, retaining the championship and all that sort of stuff. I don't know, but then you run the risk of like putting too many. I feel like you run the risk of running out of people in the division, which is a plausible factor that you are going to have to think about, which I feel like then would encourage more storylines, because it's like, all right, we don't have that many people on the roster, so maybe we stretch some out, right? We lengthen some, we build a rivalry, maybe we put like a stipulation in one of the matches or something, but I don't know, right? Because there's a lot of different things that go into it, and there's a lot of different things that you could do, and there's a lot of different like variables and whatnot, right? So, man, I don't want to talk. I feel like we're going to. Okay, there's something that I was going to say, but I think we're going to get into it. I don't want to get into it just yet in case we talk about it because I don't want to spoil it. So, all in all, right, I think that Julia Hart could definitely be in more matches. You could definitely put her in a lot more storylines going forward. In an interview with E! Entertainment is not entertainment, right? With the don't they talk about like pop culture stuff? Where they like interview them on the red carpet. Does anyone else think that's like weird? Is that like so like isn't fame so like odd? Anyway, in an interview with E News that was released on Tuesday, February 13th, The Rock says he came back to WWE. Okay, I'm making sure I read that correctly. The Rock says he came back to WWE to, quote, create the biggest WrestleMania event of all time. The biggest match of all time between myself and Roman Reigns. It's not clear when the interview was recorded, but many are taking it as confirmation that WWE changed plans for the main event of WrestleMania XL after fans rejected a Rock/Reigns match in support of Cody Rhodes. Alright, so here's two things. First of all, I'm going to sit next, again, just going to stand adjacent to the theory that it's going to be a triple threat. That's what I'm thinking. I'm still leaning on that. Roman is like, I love my championship. No one's going to take it. And then Rock says something along the lines of like, oh, I'm going to take it. And then Roman's like, no, you're not. And then Cody's like, well, that's because I'm going to take it. And then that creates, a trifecta, right? And then, okay, what was the second one? Oh, my Lord. The second one was, I know what it is. I'm trying to figure out how to start it. The second one was like, they were going to Roman the whole time, right? So for them to suddenly shift, bring on their own Rock affiliate, right? Just to make sure that this shift goes in the right direction, that's a good sign too. That means that they really are prepared to like, okay, if this is what you want, then fine. This isn't like, because I was under the assumption that they really were just gonna sort of try and see if they could like, sidestep Cody Rhodes here, and then Cody Rhodes goes after Seth Rollins, and I also was like, hey, this is gonna be a pretty good match, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. They're really gonna tear the house down, right? But then I was like about the theory, right? So, now it seems like they are going with that. And it's interesting that, again, if this wasn't supposed to happen, this is very well done. It's very well done. It's very very well thought out maneuver, because again, they got a whole other individual just to sort of help with this. You know what I mean? Okay. Right, so, alright. Sticking with Insider, they also say that while original plans called for Jade Cargill to be in the Women's Elimination Chamber match, it appears those plans have since changed. She's not in the... Okay, I can't say she's not. She never was. They were like, hey, this is what it looks like. This is what it is. It is no longer that anymore. It's no longer that anymore. Which is like, alright. Which kind of worries me, just a tad, because... I don't want Jade. I hope they're... Okay, the secret fear that I have is that they are holding her off until Charlotte comes back. I am praying that they don't do that, because that is what they were really going for WrestleMania, was Jade and Charlotte, if I remember correctly. Or, yeah, it was Jade and Charlotte, and then it was Becky and Rhea, right? And Charlotte got injured, badly, and Jade is kind of... taking a little bit longer to, brown in the oven than they originally anticipated, I guess. So now things are kind of I don't want to get delayed, I guess. So I hope that they're not trying to, secretly line that back up again. Just oh, how coincidental, that all of this is hold on, my arm itches. Oh. I hope there wasn't anything on it. I hope nothing just jumped on me. That's what it felt like, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I just felt like talking about that. Anyway, so, yeah, I hope they're not trying to, secretly do anything with that. I hope that Jade is, I hope that I mean, I don't want to say that, because that's what I was saying, like, you know, I don't blame her that, like, some of the stuff is, like, difficult to, like, remember and try and, like, you know, adapt to and all that sort of stuff. Like, I wouldn't really put it past her to maybe miss a couple things, you know? I mean, there's a lot of different wrestlers that, like, miss time or, like, you know, botch a couple moves. It happens, you know? Everybody does it. It's not the end of the world if she does it, you know what I mean? It's not going to, like, ruin her reputation forever. But whatever it is, you know, it's important, I guess, because she's still not in the ring. They're not even giving her any time. They're not even giving her the Wardlow treatment where she just comes out, local talent, bing bap, you know. They're not even doing that. They did that with, well, I don't want to say they did that with Tiffany Stratton, like she just showed up. But, you know, they're getting Tiffany Stratton on there, you know. Am I talking about, no. Okay, so I went to, oh man, Shotzi, she hurt her knee. It was a knee injury. She's on crutches. She was going to be in the NXT Championship match with Lyra Valkyria. I searched for it. I have to I searched for it. I'll tell you something right now. I don't know. Oh yeah, the NXT tryouts that are happening because of the double taping in NXT is happening because they need key NXT talents to go to Australia, I guess, for the tryouts, I guess. So I guess I didn't shot, see the jet plane. Shot, see. And then news. Serious injury. Okay. There's gotta be. There it is. Oh, damn it. No. I wanted to look at it for Wrestling Inc., but I don't think. Alright, here we go. We're just gonna go into Sportskeeda. Get this out of here. Get it out. This is by... Oh, get out of here. This is by... Oh, here we go. Abhilash Mend. Yes? Abhilash Mend. Okay. Okay, a WWE superstar suffered a serious injury during tonight's tapings. Shotzi was scheduled to take on Lyra Valkyria for the latter's NXT Women's Championship. As per Corey Brennan at Fightful, the match was stopped after Shotzi suffered a serious knee injury. Shotzi and Lyra, check out his report below. Shotzi and Lyra Valkyria's NXT Women's title match during tonight's second WWE NXT taping was stopped due to a serious knee injury suffered by Shotzi. She was held to the back and is being checked out now. Officially granted Shotzi an opportunity. Man. So, she's out, which, man, that really stinks because I know she was going to have a great match. And I was really excited. I was really actually looking forward to that. And it's just one of those things that, like, it just happens. And it just unfortunately happened to Shotzi, you know? You never want to see these things happen. But in football, they call it the beautiful game. And I really feel like that applies to wrestling because it's like, bruh, I mean, Bayley tore her ACL. It was her ACL, right, while she was training. I mean, Cody tore his pec more while he was training. Like, it can happen. You know what I mean? And it's just... And, I mean, it happening in the match, that is just... That's... Man, I can't even imagine. So, it's they're saying serious. So that's not good either, right? You obviously... That does not mean anything good at all. So, man, I here's hoping. All I can really say at this point, man, is I'm hoping that she makes a speedy recovery and that she is back sooner rather than later, man, because that is I mean, there's nothing you can say other than just like that's just unfortunate. I wanted to talk about that because I wasn't sure if I was mentioning. I wasn't sure if I listed it here. I don't remember. I don't remember everything that I listed, so I had to just like double check. And just in case, you know, I also wanted to I mentioned it just in case I didn't have it up here. So I did want to talk about that. So sticking with Insider, because yeah, I just copied these over. I do talk about these already. I don't know why I'm mentioning this. Help me, please. Sticking with Insider, they also say that original plans called for. Oh wait, I already talked about this. Oh my god, I don't know this already. Oh yeah, okay. Did I ever finish that? I'm pretty sure I did. Oh my lord, I talked about that already. Help me, please. Okay, I'm trying to see if there's anything that I left out when I was talking about that. I don't think I said anything. I don't think I'm going to say anything different. All right. After PW Insider mentioned how Access plans to use TNA talent on their other programs moving forward, the site now says Eric Young will be hosting the second season of Access TV's Vinyl Obsession. So Anthem's really getting them out there, right? Which I can't even argue with. But the way that they kind of like started steamrolling the whole operation seems a little bit weird, right? And I was talking about how it sounds like, I don't know, just the way that everything sounds. Maybe if Scott wanted to, there's something that he could look up or he could look into, and he could try and fight this. But I don't even know what to tell you right now. I'm a drop in the ocean. I'm dust in the wind, right? Like, it doesn't really matter what I say. I'm just saying in the grand, if it's something, if there's something out there, right? There is something in the water. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he can get something out there, then I say, I don't know, because you don't want to lose too much money. But it's like, if they really, but it's the thing of like, if you know they did something illegal, like if you know they did something like, you know, like they like illegally like booted you out of the company or something like that, and you actually can go for it, and there is a chance that you could actually win, then you might as well do it, just to sort of see if you can get some type of I don't want to say justice, but like, you know, you want to see if you can like get your company back or something, you know. But I don't know. You know, who am I? You know. But they're moving in. They are like making. They're taking steps in a new direction, which you can't blame them for, right? And seeing that they're putting a bunch of different wrestlers on, like a bunch of different, you know, shows, is good, you know, because it goes both ways. I don't know if I talked about this or not, because I think I was talking about this already, where it's like, oh, here's this wrestler on this TV show. If you want to see him, go here. And then it's like, oh, here's this wrestler on this wrestling show. He's also on this TV show. Go to see him over there. You know what I mean? And then because I was also talking about how they do, WWE does that with like, you know, with the Bianca Belair and Montez Ford and all that sort of stuff. And, you know, did they do any? Well, they were in commercials, so that counts too. Well, no, I mean, it's the same thing, really, right? So, I mean, on one hand, right, it doesn't really seem like they're not trying to throw it into the ground, right? But on the other hand, they didn't need to like kick Scott out. I feel like Scott leaving didn't need to happen, but that's just me, right? And finally, the Wrestling Observer newsletter says they have been told morale within AEW has, quote, really picked up and is the best in some time, which is what you want to hear, right? That is all. I mean, that's what you want for like literally every wrestling promotion out there. Everyone's happy. They're getting paid properly. No one's getting yelled at. Nothing's getting thrown at people. The audience is civilized. No fights are starting. There's no fires. You know, everything's great. No one's getting injured. You know, you I don't know. You burn a sage or something before the match. I don't know. Just you go out there. Everyone has a good time. Everyone knows it's fake. Okay. There's no riots, right? No one's breaking stuff on purpose. You know what I'm saying? It was like throwing. I mean, listen. If you're into the hardcore stuff, you know, that's all you. But like, no one's trying to kill each other. Right? And it was the last episode I was upset. I was upset because I don't like the idea that all of a sudden, you know, they're calling out and they're being like, hey, well, now we're going to focus on women's wrestling. It's like, but you can't say that because you've had the tools and the time and you at any point you could have, gathered up your writers and whatnot, and you could have formulated a storyline, which really brings me back to Julia Hart. Like, you could put something together. You could put something together. You could put something together, right? I mean, you do it with Orange Cassidy again all the time. Julia Hart should really be no exception. She's a champion just like he is. Just doesn't really seem fair, right? And it's weird that, they're like, oh, we're focused now, on women's wrestling, and, Mercedes, she's going to lead it. And it's like, no, but you have women here already that should be leading it, that are leading it, have been leading it, right? That will lead it, And I don't know, it just feels weird, It's like when Goldberg, and I know I keep bringing that up, but it's a really good example. It's like, some really, really popular wrestler just shows up and is like, I want to challenge you for the title. And like, we're going to say like 8 out of 10 times they win. And it's just like, that's not even fair. You know what I mean? And that's why I like the Royal Rumble, because the Royal Rumble isn't just a bunch of legends. Like, it's one or two, It's not like Hacksaw Jim Duggan, It's not like a joke or something like Paul Heyman or something, Like, it's actually like an actual, like, the places mean something, And it all what am I trying to say here? And I don't want to say makes sense. I don't like it. Goes along with a story. There you go. Right? And what am I talking about? Damn it! What was I talking about? What am I talking about? The Royal Rumble. It means something. Oh my god, man. Because I feel like I was rambling. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so there's storylines that you can put together in AW, and Mercedes Moné doesn't need to be the forefront, right? And the Royal Rumble gives you someone significant, and it doesn't feel like it's forced, it's going along with a story, and you can do that in AEW, and they have done it before, and you don't need Mercedes Moné there, to sort of like lead the forefront. She could join it 100%. I'm not going to sit here and say that she shouldn't join the roster at all. All I'm saying is that I don't think that she should show up and then all of a sudden there's this weird like spotlight on the AEW women's roster now, and it's like, well, hold on a minute, man. Because we've been yelling about this long before Mercedes Moné was even, thought of coming over here. And now all of a sudden, it's as if like, we've just started an uproar about this, and now you're like, we jump on it. It's like, I don't like that, So that's why I was saying you got like Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker and Julia Hart, right? And Queen. My dyslexia, Queen Aminata, Tony Storm, right? You get the point, okay? I would love it if Mercedes Moné joined, but I don't think it's fair to like call her like the league. Which what I feel like I'm taking a bit too seriously, but you know what it is though? I don't rule it out. That's the thing. I don't rule it out entirely. I don't rule it out that Mercedes is gonna show up and then like not that we're gonna. I don't know how to explain it. Which again, I don't know. Like, it's not that I have a problem with it. It's just like, it's like shoehorned and pandering. Is that just me? I feel like I'm using the wrong words. Maybe not pandering in such a harsh tone. Definitely shoehorned for sure, but, do you know what I'm trying to say, though? I hope I'm making sense. I did have a brain fart halfway through. I did, but I brought it back around, and I apologize for the brain fart, but I did come back. All right. I didn't really miss anything. Did I breeze through that? That was kind of quick. But in fairness, I didn't really have anything else to talk about in the beginning other than socks and my feet, and yeah. So, I feel like did I not say enough? I feel like I don't want to, you know what? I don't want to repeat myself. You know what? I don't want to repeat myself. Hold on a second. Gotta make sure I don't mess it up. All right. Hold on. Get that out of there. All right. So, you know what? We're not even gonna harp on it, folks. What I need you to do now is I need you to pack up your stuff, and I need you to head on into the locomotive as we get this train moving to Rumination Station. That's right. That's right. Hello. Hopefully everyone is still doing well. If you noticed, I took out the train horn because you could barely hear it. At least from what I could tell. From my audio perspective, you couldn't really hear it that well. I was talking, I mean, my little intro was a bit loud, so, that's probably why you couldn't hear it. So, it's better to just, do away with it, because then you don't want it to be too loud, and I don't know. I'll put it back. You know what? I'll put it back, and I'm going to listen to it with my good headphones, and if it sounds good, I'll leave it in. Okay, there you go. All right, Rumination Station, we've arrived. How's everyone doing? You're not strapped in. It's a train. You don't have to be. Do you strap into a train? You don't strap into a train. You have food in a train. I've never had food in a train. I haven't been on a train in a long time. Anyway, today's topic. What's the difference between Jaguars and Leopards? This is by Mark Mancini, and it was posted on February 5th, 2024. Let's start with their gorgeous patterned fur. Both felines are covered with large flower-shaped blotches called rosettes. In Jaguars, Panthera onca, or Panthera, I'm going to say Panthera onca. These rosettes frequently contain little black spots. Leopard, Panthera pardus, rosettes don't have those markings, and they tend to be larger. So leopard rosettes don't have those markings, while Jaguars contain the large black flower-shaped blotches. So Jaguars have the little black spots, and leopards don't have the little black spots, and the blotches are bigger. Perhaps the biggest difference between jaguars and leopards is their geographic range. Jaguars are found only in the western hemisphere, from northeastern Argentina to southern Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. The U.S. sightings are rare. Leopards are now found in pockets of sub-Saharan Africa and Asia, as far east as the Sea of Japan. However, the leopard's historical range was much larger, covering all of sub-Saharan Africa, as well as vast sections of the Caucasus, Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, China, and Southeast Asia. I'm trying to make sure I'm saying this correctly. Caucasus. Okay. Jaguars are found Western Hemisphere, right? And then, okay. Because I was like, bro, there's no way they're in the U.S. What are you talking about, Jaguar? What do you mean? Leopards are found in sub-Saharan Africa and Asia pockets. And then, leopard's historical range covered all sub-Saharan Africa, as well as the vast sections of Caucasus, Iran, Afghanistan. So they were all over the place. Jaguars and leopards are adapted to different habitats as well. Jaguars live in forests, scrublands, swamps. My nose itches. That's where they live, where my nose itches. River valleys, usually around rivers or streams. Okay. And they're good swimmers. Lightly built leopards live in savannas and grasslands where they often climb trees to rest or scan for prey. Can you imagine that? Bears can climb trees, you know. Can you imagine running from a leopard or a jaguar or a bear and you think, all right, I know exactly what to do. I saw this in the movies. I'm going to climb a tree. It's never going to get me. And it doesn't even slow down. You're climbing. You're like halfway up. You're like, haha, you're never going to get me. And as you're finishing the sentence, it's like an inch away from you. Like that's terrifying. Hey, that's the scariest. As my nose itches, that's the scariest thing to think about in the entire universe, you know? So, okay. It's scary though, isn't it though? You're running from an animal like a bear or a jaguar, and you climb a tree and you're like, I'm safe. And it's like, you're not, because they can climb trees, man. They know how to climb trees. How do you think the bears get the honey? Oh my God, man. They get into the trees, man. That's crazy. Man, oh man. Okay, grasslands where they can climb trees. Okay, both jaguars and leopards are members of the genus Panthera, along with lions and tigers collectively. The four are known as the roaring cats. The term panther, however, usually describes either leopards or pumas. Confusingly, only leopards and jaguars can be black panthers. They're the only big cats known to exhibit melanism, an overabundance of the pigment melanin that gives them a charcoal tone and almost obscures their spots. The actual puma/panther, Puma concolor, also called a cougar, mountain lion, or catamounts, does not experience melanism. It's fucking melanism. Their fur is like it's black because it's like their genes or whatever. It's like their biology. It's in there. It's in there. It's in there. It's in the lining. You know what I'm saying? It's not just like their fur's not just like black. It's not just like black fur. It's like, you know. It's like skin. It's like, I don't know. What am I talking? Am I making sense here? They're the only big cat known to exhibit melanism and overabundance of the pigment melanin that gives them a charcoal tone. So like, they're dark. Oh man. So that means that like albino, like snow tigers, that means that they have like what is it called? It's the one where, like, you know, I don't even know what it's called. I just say like they're albino. That's what I say when their hair is like, man, I knew a kid in elementary school who was albino, and it was the coolest thing in the world. His hair was like the color of his skin. It was so cool, man. He was so cool. His eyebrows, man. I never knew his name, but he looked so cool. Oh, man. I only knew one albino kid, man. Man. No, I'll tell you something right now, though. This is actually really interesting. The fact that, like, it's like biological why their fur is like that. It's not just like their fur is like that. Well, I mean, I guess that goes for like literally every other animal, right? Like giraffes and like, you know, snakes and stuff like that, and you know, the way that certain animals like go around. I guess it's like an evolution, I guess. But like, well, I guess like a panther, but like a black panther in like the jungle, that seems a bit out of place, don't you think? But like. And then again, it can blend in the night, and they can climb trees, you know? Nature, and animals, and evolution, it all just fascinates me because it's just so, well, to be fair, a lot of things are beyond my mental comprehension, okay? You know, turning on the light switch when I walk into the room, that's beyond my mental comprehension, okay? But this stuff it's really fascinating. I can't get over that, man. The overabundance of the pigment melanin. All right. we need to just go over this just really quick, because I've just been flooding you with absolute nonsense for the last 5 minutes. So they're covered with large. So both of them have flower-shaped blotches. They're called rosettes. Jaguars, Panthera onca, and leopards, Panthera pardus. Okay? So, in jaguars, the rosettes contain little black spots. In leopards, they don't have the little black spots, and the blotches are bigger, right? Okay, and then jaguars and leopards, they're far apart, right? You got jaguars on the western hemisphere, northeastern Argentina to southern. I did it again. I wanted to say southeastern, southern Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas, right? And then leopards are in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, and Asia, right? And then they have adapted. See, look, they have adapted to different habitats as well. Jaguars live in forests, scrublands, swamps, and river. Okay, well, we're not really talking about panthers here, but they live in river valleys, usually in rivers or streams. Good swimmers. Lightly built leopards live in savannas. Oh, yeah, and they can climb trees, and that's why I freaked out about the bears. And then, not the Chicago Bears, but, Or what is it? Oh my God. The Jaguars. What is it, man? Is it no, it's that's the North Carolina there's the North Carolina Panthers. There's the Carolina Panthers. Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, and then the Leopards? Are there leopards? Shush. Are there leopards? Those are Bengals, but those are tigers. There's no leopards. Are there leopards? Hold on a second. I'm looking this up. This is the longest Rumination Station episode. Did I even say the leopards? The Leopard football team. The Leopard football team. Lafayette College Leopards. No? Louisville High School. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Anyway, man, you see, this is why I needed to go over it again, because this is ridiculous, man. And then they are members of the genus Panthera. Is it not? Because Panthera it just doesn't sound right. Panthera. Panthera just doesn't sound right. So I'm saying Panthera. Panthera along with lions and tigers. Collectively, the four are known as the roaring cats. The term panther, however, usually describes either leopards or pumas. So leopards can also be described as panthers. Ooh. Only leopards and jaguars can be black panthers. They're the only big cat known to exhibit melanism and overabundance of the pigment, because leopards don't have those markings and the spots tend to be larger. So there you go. I'm going to stop it right there because you're probably about to jump off of something really high. That's a bit too much. I'm sorry. Just in case I've been talking too much. But there you go, folks. The difference between jaguars and leopards. Okay? Not to be confused with panthers, who have melanism, okay, which is an overabundance of the pigment melanin that gives them a charcoal tone and almost obscures their spots. Okay, which leopards also have large spots as well, but not like jaguars who have smaller spots. And leopards, the history spans even farther than the sub-Saharan Africa. Africa. So, on that note, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you all have a wonderful tonight and a wonderful tomorrow. And as always, big hugs. Big hugs all around.